mountains will crumble and turn into sand, and the oceans will redraw the lines of the land. The empires we build out of marble and stone will fall to the grass and be left all alone. But look in my hand, see how steady it stays. It hasn't forgotten the warmth of your face. We were here when the very first forest was green, and we'll be here long after the final machine. I've walked through the crowded and echoing streets, through centuries bitter and winters of sleet. I wore different jackets, I spoke different tongues, I breathed in the smog of a million young lungs. But every single lifetime I'm wandering through is just a long detour to get back to you. You're the northern star in a sky full of dust, the one single promise that I'll always trust. Because the world spins around and the decades will fade, but I'll love you through every mistake we have made. If the sun shuts its eyes and the stars disappear, I would still find your heart in the dark, loud and clear. They can give me an hour, a day or an age, but I'm writing your name upon every last page. Yeah, I've loved you for 1,000 years, and I'll love you for 1,000 more. Remember the nights by the flickering fire, when the world was much smaller and stakes were much higher. We didn't have maps and we didn't have clocks, just the sound of the river against the cold rocks. You told me you feared that the passing of time would wash out our names like a half-written rhyme. But look at us now, standing under the moon. The melody changes, but we're still in tune. The empires will fall and the kings will be dust. The iron we forge will surrender to rust. The papers will yellow, the histories rewrite, but the look in your eyes is an unchanging light. So don't you dare worry when shadows grow long. Our love isn't fleeting, it isn't a song that finishes up when the record stops spinning. Every conclusion is just a beginning. Because the world spins around and the decades will fade, but I'll love you through every mistake we have made. If the sun shuts its eyes and the stars disappear, I would still find your heart in the dark, loud and clear. They can give me an hour, a day or an age, but I'm writing your name upon every last page. Yeah, I've loved you for 1,000 years, and I'll love you for 1,000 more. 1,000 winters of freezing rain, 1,000 summers of joy and pain. Through the revolutions and the changing tides, through the secret places where the spirit hides, I'll find you in the next life. I'll know you by your touch. No matter how the world tries to alter so much, I'll find you, I'll find you, I always do. Time is just a shadow that we're walking through. Because the world spins around and the decades will fade, but I love you through every mistake we have made. If the sun shuts its eyes and the stars disappear, I would still find your heart in the dark, loud and clear. They can give me an hour, a day or an age, but I'm writing your name upon every last page. Yeah, I've loved you for 1,000 years, and I'll love you for 1,000 more. 1,000 more. The clocks can all stop, the curtain can drop, I'll still be yours. Here sat outside your building, staring at the floor, holding on to words I should have said a year before. The rain is coming down, it's soaking through my tattered shoes, but that's nothing compared to the coldness of losing you. I saw the pictures on the internet, you finally smile again. You're healing from the trauma, moving on with better friends. And here I am, the architect who tore your world apart, trying to bring a tiny match to restart a frozen heart. I remember how you pleaded, how you begged me just to stay, how you cried right on the carpet as I turned and walked away. I was selfish, I was arrogant, I thought the world was mine. I traded something priceless for a temporary shine. Now the silence in my apartment is a loud convicting judge, and everywhere I look I see the ghosts of our old love. And I know it doesn't fix the nights you spent alone and crying, and I know it doesn't cancel out the times that I was lying. I broke the promises we made, I let the fire die, and now I'm down upon my knees beneath the stormy sky. It's too late to mend the glass, too late to make it right, but I'm screaming to the shadows in the middle of the night. I just wanted to apologize. Oh, I just need to apologize. You didn't answer when I knocked, I guess you saw me through the glass. I don't blame you for protecting your future from your past. I left a note beneath the map, my handwriting was shaking, a desperate little summary of the heart that I was breaking. I didn't write it for forgiveness, I know I don't deserve the grace. I just needed you to know I hate the man who took my place, the man who didn't hold you close, the man who let you go, the fool who thought that he was smart but didn't really know. I walk back to my car alone, the engine starts to hum, my hands are shaking on the wheel, my mind is completely numb. I see my own reflection and I hate the things I see. A walking piece of wreckage from a broken history. It kills me that the only way to ensure your peace of mind is for me to disappear and leave our memories behind. Because I know it doesn't fix the nights you spent alone and crying, and I know it doesn't cancel out the times that I was lying. I broke the promises we made, I let the fire die, and now I'm down upon my knees beneath the stormy sky. It's too late to mend the glass, too late to make it right, but I'm screaming to the shadows in the middle of the night. I just wanted to apologize. Oh, I just need to apologize. Sorry is a cheap word when the damage is this deep. Sorry doesn't bring back all the sleep you couldn't keep. I'm the villain in your story, I'm the shadow in your sun. I'm the one who pulled the trigger on a loaded heavy gun. I wanna take it back, I wanna turn the clock around before I pulled our beautiful castle straight into the ground. But I can't change the history, I can't erase the scars. I'm just left here counting up the fragments of our broken stars. Because I know it doesn't fix the nights you spent alone and crying, and I know it doesn't cancel out the times that I was lying. I broke the promises we made, I let our future die, and now I'm standing in the cold beneath the heavy sky. I just wanted to apologize. Yeah, I came to say apologize. There's a cardboard box sitting right by the kitchen sink, and I've been staring at the tape, too tired to even think. I'm collecting the fragments, the wreckage you left behind, trying to clear the crowded spaces inside of my mind. I found the silver bracelet I bought you for your birthday bash, and the concert tickets we saved, now reduced to garbage and trash. But it's not just the physical things that are cluttering up the floor. It's the pieces of my soul that you took when you walked out the door. You used my heart like a hotel, a temporary place to stay. Chewed up my youth and my trust, and you threw it all away. You got the best years of my life, the versions of me so clean, before you turned my entire sky into a dark, bitter scene. So don't you dare keep a single memory under your bed. I want it all out of your hands. I want it all out of your hands. So give back everything that I give you. Don't leave a single trace. Don't keep my favorite t-shirt just to remember my face. Give back the hours I wasted listening to your arrogant lies. Give back the sleep that I lost underneath the midnight skies. You didn't love me, you just loved the way I made you feel tall. Now I'm standing in the ruins of a devastating fall. If you're gonna leave me lonely, if we are completely through, then give back everything, everything that I give you. I want my innocence back, the way I used to trust the world, before your heavy, careless hands left my spirit completely unfurled. I want the laughter back that I spent on your broken jokes, and the smoke-filled promises that vanished like carbon cloaks. I see you walking around town like you did absolutely nothing wrong, wearing the confidence I built for you all winter long. You took my energy, my light, you drained my battery dry, and left me gasping for air without a single reason why. My friends say I should be patient, that time will heal the scar, but they don't know how empty and hollow you left this car. I drive past our old spots and I feel a violent chill, knowing you're holding my secrets against your own free will. Pack it up, ship it back, send it all to my address. I don't want you keeping a fraction of the love I used to possess. The TV in the corner is flashing bright and red. The newsman on the channel says we're running out of thread. A giant shadow in the sky, the sirens start to scream, and everybody's running like they're trapped inside a dream. I look around my living room, the ceiling starts to shake, and out of all the memories my fragile mind could make, I don't think about my childhood, I don't think about my fears, I just think about the ghost of us we buried through the years. My phone is blowing up with texts from people I once knew, saying goodbye and I love you, but I'm only looking for you. I check the screen 1,000 times, the battery is low, the signal's getting weaker as the lights begin to go. I wonder if you're terrified or if you're completely calm, sitting on your balcony with a drink inside your palm. Do you think about the night we walked away and let it break? Or is a dying world too big for old mistakes to wake? Because if the world was ending, if the sky was falling down, if the ocean rose up high enough to wash away this town, would you dial my number? Would you run across the street? Would you wanna hold my hand until our heartbeats cease to beat? Or would we die as strangers, locked inside our separate rooms, left with all the heavy silence of our self-inflicted dooms? Yeah, if the world was ending, would you even care? Or would you leave me drowning in the smoke and toxic air? The traffic on the highway is a line of frozen light, nobody's getting anywhere. In the middle of the night I pour a glass of water, watch it tremble on the stand, wishing I could feel the gravity of your familiar hand. Remember when we swore that it was you and me till death, that we would keep each other safe until our final breath? It's funny how a promise made in sunshine fades away when the sky turns into midnight. In the middle of the day I hear a crash down on the street, a window shatters loud, the panic is a blanket that is wrapping up the crowd. I put my jacket on and I stand beside the door, my hand is on the handle but my feet are on the floor. Cause even if I ran to you, even if I made it through the fire, would I find a saving grace, or just a cold extinguished fire? Because if the world was ending, if the sky was falling down, if the ocean rose up high enough to wash away this town, would you dial my number? Would you run across the street? Would you wanna hold my hand until our heartbeats cease to beat? Or will we die strangers, locked inside our separate rooms, left with all the heavy silence of our self-inflicted dooms? Yeah, if the world was ending, would you even care? Or would you leave me drowning in the smoke and toxic air? The countdown is ticking, the stars are burning out, and I am screaming your name above the chaos and the doubt. Is it pride that keeps us separate while the earth begins to crack? Is it anger that ensures we can never go right back? I give up all my futures just to have one single pass, to tell you that I'm sorry while the shadows expand so fast. Look at the sky, it's bleeding orange and red, and I'm wishing I was holding you instead. Yeah, I'm wishing I was holding you instead. The tea has gone cold on the counter, the steam is all gone. We've been sitting in silence and waiting right here for the dawn. You're twisting your ring finger, tracing the lines in your hand, avoiding my eyes because you know that I won't understand. The suitcase is packed in the closet, I heard the latch click. The realization is hitting my chest like a brick. You're rehearsing the speech that you practiced all night in your head, to kill off the beautiful things that we casually said. Your breathing is shallow, you're looking down straight at the floor, like you're trying to figure out how to get close to the door. I can taste the goodbye in the air, it's a bitter routine. The curtain is falling on our final unmerciful scene. If you're gonna tell me that everything we had was a lie, don't say it too fast, give me one last second to try. So if you're gonna leave me, baby, let me down slowly. Don't pull the trigger and leave me here bleeding and lonely. Don't rip off the anchor and cast me right out to the deep. Give me a moment to process the secrets you keep. If my world is gonna break, let it shatter in pieces, not all at once. Give me a little bit of time to prepare for the upcoming months. Yeah, if you're gonna go, let me down slowly. Just let me down slowly. I remember the morning we painted the bedroom walls blue. You laughed at the mess on my face and I looked right at you. We swore that no matter how heavy the winter would get, we'd hold on to each other and never look back with regret. Now I'm looking at walls that are starting to crumble and fade, a fragile spectator in a prison that we jointly made. You're clearing your throat now, the first word is starting to form, and I'm wrapping my arms around myself just to brace for the storm. You say that you tried, and you say that you're sorry it's over, that you haven't felt like yourself since the end of October. Every sentence you speak is a heavy delivery blow, tearing down all the roots that we took so much effort to grow. And it hurts how polite you were being while breaking my heart, like a surgeon who smiles while taking my spirit apart. So if you're gonna leave me, baby, let me down slowly. Don't pull the trigger and leave me here bleeding and lonely. Don't rip off the anchor and cast me right out to the deep. Give me a moment to process lines for a phantom like crime. Just give me a second, just give me a breath before the silence becomes my absolute death. So if you're gonna leave me, baby, let me down slowly. Don't pull the trigger and leave me here bleeding and lonely. Oh, don't rip off the ankle and cast me right out to the deep. Give me a moment to process the secrets you keep. If my world is gonna break, let it shatter in pieces, not all at once. Give me a little bit of time to survive through the upcoming months. Yeah, if you're gonna go, let me down slowly. Please let me down slowly. Don't slam the door, don't run away. Just give me the rest of the day. Goodbye, step by step. Let me down slowly until there's nothing left. I found your old hair tie on the passenger seat, right where the fabric and the plastic lines meet. It still holds the scent of that cheap rose perfume that you used to spray to fill up the room. I know I should throw it right out of the door, like I should have done with your clothes on the floor. But I'm hoarding the fragments you left in your wake, because letting you go is a step I can't take. I remember the scar just above your left knee, from the summer you tripped running down to the sea. And the way that your nose wrinkled up when you laughed at the terrible jokes that I drew on a draft. You thought you were awkward, you thought you were plain, but to me you were shelter right inside the rain. Now I'm memorizing the shape of your ghost, clinging to the features that I miss the most, because I still love everything on you, from your head to your toes. The way your eyes heavy up when the late evening goes. I love the flaws that you hated, the scars that you hid. I love the chaotic, reckless things that we did. You walked out the door and you said we were through, but my heart didn't care. It's still tangled in you. Yeah, it kills me to know that we're completely unglued, when I still love everything, everything on you. My friends took me out to a bar down the street. They introduced me to someone they wanted me to meet. She had a nice smile and a kind way of talking, but within 5 minutes my spirit was walking. She didn't have that tiny brown mole on her cheek. She didn't use the sarcastic words that you'd speak. I felt so guilty for wishing that she was just you. So I paid for my drink and I left before 2. I walked through the supermarket down by our place, and I automatically look around for your face. I passed by the cereal you always would buy, and the lump in my throat You're looking at the mirror like it's your oldest enemy, trimming away at your edges, erasing your history. I left a plate of food on the table, it's completely gone cold, while you're wrapped in an oversized sweater that's starting to fold. I tell you you're beautiful, I swear it every single night, but my words just bounce off your skin, they don't catch the light. You apologize for breathing, you apologize for being in the room, like you're an accidental weed growing inside a garden of bloom. I watch you trace the scars on your wrist and the lines on your face, wishing you could pack up your soul and move to another place. You hide away your laughter like it's a sin you shouldn't commit, and every time I try to hold you close, you flinch just a little bit. It breaks my heart into pieces to see the way that you grieve over a ghost of perfection that you'll never actually achieve. Because I can pour my entire soul into your empty cup, I can build a million bridges just to try and hold you up. I can fight all your monsters, I can scream at the dark, I can spend my whole life trying to ignite your tiny spark. But it's a losing battle, it's a tragedy on the shelf, 'cause I cannot save you until you learn to love yourself. Yeah, I can't do the healing until you love yourself. You asked me if I'd leave you if you got a little more broken. You asked for so much terror, the words were barely spoken. How can you think so low of the magic inside your mind? How can you be so incredibly cruel to the person I'm trying to find? I am drowning in a sea of your absolute self-disdain, trying to act like a shield against your internal rain. But the umbrella is leaking and my arms are getting so tired from chasing a version of you that you've entirely expired. You pulled the blankets over your head and turned to the wall, leaving me standing in the hallway feeling so helpless and small. I wanna rip out my eyes and give them directly to you, so you can finally see the masterpiece that I always do. But love isn't a currency that can buy back your peace of mind, and I can't fix a mirror that you intentionally made blind. Because I can pour my entire soul into your empty cup, I can build a million bridges just to try and hold you up. I can fight all your monsters, I can scream at the dark, I can spend my whole life trying to ignite your tiny spark. But it's a losing battle, it's a tragedy on the shelf, 'cause I cannot save you until you learn to love yourself. I'm sitting across from you at our usual diner place, watching the neon light flicker across your face. You're stirring your sugar, but your mind is a million miles away. And I'm choking on all the things that I'm too afraid to say. I ask how your day was, but you just give a hollow shrug, pulling your hands away from mine, pulling away the rug. You used to look at me like I was the only thing you could see. Now you look straight through me, like a ghost in your history. The silence between us is a cold and heavy sheet of ice. I try to find an excuse, try to look for your advice, but your shoulders are frozen and your lips are a narrow line. And I'm desperately searching for a hopeful saving sign. I remember when looking at you felt like coming home from the cold. Now it feels like a warning of a story that's already been told. Because I'm looking into your ocean eyes, and all I see is a storm, a freezing cold tide where we used to be safe and warm. Yeah, the color is beautiful, but the water is rising too high. And I'm standing here watching the love in you slowly die. You don't have to tell me it's over. I can read the internal skies. I can see the goodbye drowning deep in your ocean eyes. Oh, those cold, distant ocean eyes. We drive back in silence with the radio turned down low. The headlights are cutting through the fog of the things we know. I wanna scream out, I wanna ask what I did wrong to turn our sweet symphony into this tragic silent song. Did you meet someone else, or did you just grow tired of my face? Did the magic we built together just vanish without a trace? You look out the window, watching the raindrops hit the pave, and it kills me that my tears are causing you absolutely no pain. We pull up to the driveway, but you don't even turn off the key. A polite little signal that you're ready to get rid of me. You whisper, I'm sorry, but the words have no weight or soul. Just a formal statement as you hand back the broken hole. I look at you one last time before I step out into the dark, begging for a glimmer, begging for a tiny little spark. But I'm looking into your ocean eyes, and all I see is a storm, a freezing cold tide where we used to be safe and warm. Yeah, the color is beautiful, but the water is rising too high. And I'm standing here watching the love in you slowly die. You don't have to tell me it's over. I can read the internal skies. I can see the goodbye drowning deep in your ocean slowly die. You don't have to tell me it's over. I can read the internal skies. I can see the final goodbye, drowning deep in your ocean eyes. I'm sitting across from you at our usual diner place, watching the neon light flicker across your face. I'm sitting across from you at our usual diner place, watching the neon light flicker across your face. You're stirring your sugar, but your mind is a million miles away. And I'm choking on all the things that I'm too afraid to say. I ask how your day was, but you just give a hollow shrug, pulling your hands away from mine, pulling away the rug. You used to look at me like I was the only thing you could see. I was standing in line at the grocery store down on 5th and Main, just trying to escape the chill of the sudden November rain. The cashier was tapping her fingers, the radio played real low, some forgotten melody from a summer we used to know. And then the girl in front of me turned around to grab her keys, and a wave of that cheap vanilla perfume hit me like a sudden freeze. I hadn't thought about your face in at least a month or two, but in less than a single second, my entire world turned blue. It's funny how a scene can be a time machine inside your head, bypassing every single logical word that we ever said. Suddenly I wasn't standing on a cold linoleum floor, I was sitting on your kitchen counter, laughing by the door. You were wearing that oversized flannel, the one with the faded red, telling me all of the beautiful dreams you had inside your head. I could feel the warmth of the coffee, I could feel the spark in the air. Before we learned how to pack our bags and leave it standing there. Oh, it took me back to the nights in July when we didn't need a reason or a blueprint to get by. It took me back to the passenger seat where your hand was the only thing I ever needed to me. But the flashback always ends with the sound of a closing door, leaving me stranded and broken on a grocery store floor. Yeah, a stranger's perfume was all that it took. It took me right back to the pages we shook. I paid for my things and I walked right out into the grave, blaming the mist for the tears that were starting to make their way. I drove the long route home past the park where we used to run, where we carved our initials under the light of a scared that the world was too big for the fragile love that we shared. I used to think those trees were a sanctuary, a sacred ground. Now they're just monuments to a ghost that can never be found. I got back to my empty apartment and threw my coat on the chair. The silence was heavy, exactly like you left it standing there. It's a dangerous game to let your mind wander down that street, because the past is a phantom that always ensures your defeat. You're probably living in Austin now with someone who makes you smile, while I'm still getting derailed by a scent every little while. It took me back to the nights in July when we didn't need a reason or a blueprint to get by. Oh, it took me back to the passenger seat where your hand was the only thing I ever needed to meet. But the flashback always ends with the sound of a closing door, leaving you stranded and broken on a grocery store floor. Yeah, a stranger's perfume was all that it took. It took me right back to the pages we shook. It took me right back to the pages we shook. I'm sitting in the dark as the rain starts to pour, staring at the keys left by the front door. I tried to clear my head, took a walk down the street, but every single pavement line reminds me of defeat. I see a couple laughing under one big umbrella, and it triggers a memory that I wish I could tell her. My friends all tell me that I've got to let go, but there's a heavy secret that they just don't know. I bought a new mattress to replace the old frame, hoping a change would erase your sweet name. But I still sleep on the left side, leaving room for your ghost, clinging to the shadow of what hurts me the most. Every habit I have was designed around you, and I don't know how to live life as a brand new who. 'Cause you are the reason I can't sleep at night. You are the reason I don't care if I'm right. I try to give my heart to somebody new, but every single piece of it belongs right to you. Yeah, I'm stuck in the wreckage, paralyzed by the season. And if you wanna know why I'm broken, baby, you are the reason. I went to a party just to show my face, hoping the noise would fill up this blank space. A girl with pretty eyes came and sat by my side. She asked for my number, but my throat just went dry. I couldn't even fake a smile, couldn't even pretend, because any road I take just leads right back to the end. I excused myself early, walked home in the cold, crying for a hand that I'm no longer allowed to hold. People ask why I'm quiet, why I've lost all my drive. I'm just going through the motions instead of feeling alive. They think I'm just lazy or depressed by the grave, but they don't know the price that I have to pay for loving someone so deeply that when they walked out, they took my entire identity without a single doubt. And I hate myself for letting you hold all the strings. I hate how my mind only plays what your memory brings you. Out there living, you're doing just fine, while I'm drowning in tears at the edge of the line. I'm a prisoner of war to a love that is past, building a life out of shattered glass. Look at what you did, look at what I've become. A beautiful melody that's completely gone numb. Because you're the reason I can't sleep at night. You are the reason I don't care if I'm right. I try to give my heart to somebody new, but every single piece of it belongs right to you. Yeah, I'm stuck in the wreckage, paralyzed by the season. And if you wanna know why I'm broken, baby, you are the reason.